right? If you currently have a website and you have a brand, you can add these to your website. It's print on demand. It's not going to cost you anything to actually do that. And when an order comes through, they'll ship it out to your customer. So that is very, very cool. Thanks for that, Ben. Appreciate that, mate. Okay, cool. So then we have Blanca, of course. This particular, I guess, website or service where they actually create the product for you. They'll basically provide all the certification that you actually need to get listed, but also, you have some really, really cool products, and there's a lot more of these. Also, I know in the supplement niche, it's becoming really big. So it can be a really good idea, again, to as an add-on to your actual website, or, if you wanted to look into this more of as a kind of a low risk option to actually build a brand, you can possibly do that too and learn the ropes through this. All right, so let's move on to the next, which is, okay, so this is really, really interesting. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is interesting in a second. So last week I had spoken about basically keeping your eye out and looking to see, basically get ideas and inspiration for products. And we'd mentioned Dr. Huberman or Huberman Labs, who's someone that basically about a year and a half ago talked about, just taping your mouth so you can actually breathe better when you go to bed. And he was basically just saying, just use sticky tape. And then you had all of these brands come out where, you got Hostage, for example, this particular brand called Hostage, where you actually tape your mouth. So it's really, really cool to basically look into that. But I was actually looking at this video because I'm kind of always interested to see what videos do really well, which videos go viral, for example. But there was one product in this actual video that really, really stood out to me. And it was a product that I've never seen before. Now, the video is really long, but let's see if we can let's see if I can play it for you guys. And all right, so let me get it because I did take a screenshot of it. This is a really interesting product that I actually thought was cool. Never seen this product before. All right, let me pull that up. Okay. So this is it here, right? I thought this was really interesting, right? So basically, after they gave the dog a bath, I saw this kind of drying system. Now, I've never ever seen a product like this before at all. I'm not sure if it's specific for small dogs or anything like that, but it actually caught my attention. So you can see here it's called Pet Marvel, right? So you can slightly see that logo there. It's called Pet Marvel. But I thought that was really, really cool. And again, I haven't done, the full research into this particular product, of course, not yet. But I'm basically just looking at it as a potential idea. And it came across and it got my attention. I thought, okay, this could be really interesting. Could be interesting to look into. Maybe this product isn't in Australia, right? Or maybe it is, but it doesn't have variations, or maybe they haven't branded it or marketed it right. But I've never ever seen kind of a small little box cube like that that actually works as a basically a dryer for dogs. Has anyone actually seen a product like this before? A lot of the time, I was actually mentioning also in terms of uh, there are certain products for certain dog breeds that actually aren't made for certain dog breeds. And one of the things I was mentioning last time was a dog crate. And so we use it for training at home. And they actually don't have dog crates for your Great Danes, for your mountain dogs, for example. They actually, extra large one, even though they have a photo of a Great Dane on it, they won't fit in it. And I thought that was kind of quite funny. But again, it's really just about being observant and seeing what opportunities and what ideas come to be. And this kind of just brought my attention. So I thought that was really, really cool. Plus, the video actually went viral, which was pretty cool. Okay, so this is another one that I thought was really cool and interesting. So we had spoken about basically products being made in Europe and how really Europe, I believe, is going to be the next place when it comes to manufacturing. There's no doubt about it. I think we've seen it before. A good year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I actually came to Portugal about 3 years ago now, I started noticing a lot more manufacturing popping up. And I think China is going to be slowing down. And Vietnam, well, we know Vietnam's basically exploding. But the thing with Vietnam is they don't really have a large variation of products. But in Europe, we're starting to see a very, very large variation of products, really anything and anything that you actually want. So these particular products are actually made in Poland. And I thought it was a really, really cool little brand. So we came across this particular brand. So what they actually do is basically custom made products and blankets, right? So custom made, made to order. But one of the things here that's interesting is they have pre-order from the 16th of March. Now, you probably heard Annie speak about this. You probably heard me speak about this all the time. Also, where pre-ordering it seems to be really becoming a very, very smart way that a lot of people are actually doing to pay for their inventory, right? So that's essentially where people get to basically buy the product from you, and then you actually make the product, or you get the product manufactured. So in this case, it's this particular blanket. What they'll do an advertising campaign on Instagram. They'll basically promote it, and whoever buys the product and places a pre-order, they'll actually get the manufacturing done there. And I think it's a really, really good idea if you can do that in your particular business. I think nearly anyone can do that. Again, it really just depends what type of product that you actually have. But I thought it was a really, really cool idea, and making to order is a great idea. And also another thing is that a market that's really kind of untapped, I believe, is the personalization market. So for example, if you're thinking about a blanket like this and it was a kid's blanket, what can you actually do to provide personalization on that actual blanket? Is it even possible to do? And how would you actually go about doing that? So, for example, if you're selling the blanket for, let's say, $50, and you basically charge someone $100 if they want it personalized with the kid's name on there, embroidered, or whatever it is that you're actually going to do to get that name on there, right? So you can charge a lot more just by doing that. And people will actually pay a lot more for that also. So again, it's a really great way to increase your profit margins. Personalization also gets you, I think, a lot more better reviews. And also it's a really, really good differentiator. I know on Amazon, you can actually do that also. So a lot of people are getting into the gifting niche on Amazon and creating personalized products. So before people got into the gifting niche, they just sell a candle, for example. Now people are going there and say, well, you can have your name on the side of the candle. I could write happy birthday for you. And they're charging them a premium to actually do that.